Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
One, two. Check me out.
Thank you for joining me for another edition of the Bob Sullivan Show here on latenightsportsradio.com. If you'd like to call in, the number is 585-633-7487. I am joined tonight in hour number one by Alex B. Smith, not Alex Smith, the eliminated quarterback, Alex B. Smith, axsmithsports.com and kellyanvegas.com. Alex, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, trying to fight through the flu right now a little bit. I think I caught some kind of weird stomach thing yesterday or something, but always nice to be back on the show talking with you. So, this has helped me feel a little better for an hour.
Well, what constitutes the flu for you? Like, some people just say, like, if they're, they got a headache and a runny nose, they got the flu. What falls into the category of flu for you?
It's got to be like two or three things going on simultaneously. Like today I woke up, terrible headache, stomach ache. I always wake up with a stuffy nose, so that was more like a runny nose kind of deal. Headaches, like you said, yeah, pretty much. If it's two or three more symptoms simultaneously, then it's flu, basically. But I'm not going to just, like you said, I wake up all clogged and stuffy anyway. And, especially in the cold this time of year, the air gets really dry and just kind of gross. So that's just normal, whatever. But
I don't think people truly, like the people that live in, warm weather cities truly not appreciate, but understand the struggles that we go through here in the Midwest a lot. Or, yeah. I don't know, maybe it happens in New York too with the kids, but like from time to time, my nose will just start bleeding, like for no reason. It's not like I'm picking it too much, not that I'm aware of, but it just gets so.
Yeah, no, I get that.
In these parts of the country during the winter, it just becomes so miserable.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's really bad, and then you have these like right now, it's like above freezing here in Minnesota. And then it'll drop back below and go above and below. And this happens to me in the springtime. My body can't adjust to the hot and cold back and forth every other day. And then just wears on me. It's like I have allergies from like early March all the way till April. This hot and cold will just start flipping up and down and just feel like crap for, several days. But yeah, people don't really get that out west. I'm sure there's other things though. I mean, when you're in heat.
Bob, are you there? Alex, are you there?
Yeah, still there.
I think we lost Bob.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what happened, but it sounded like some kind of alien invasion in Omaha. So, while we are trying to get a hold of Bob back, let's jump on the sports bandwagon here. And what did you think of the football games last week?
Oh, well, it was good stuff to watch. I was really hoping that Dallas would pull that game out. I had Dallas as I had 10-1 ticket on them to win the Super Bowl. I was upset about the carry. I thought that was a completed pass. I hate that rule, but it was good stuff to watch. And then the college football game was fantastic. I actually thought that was going to be a boring game at one point. Like, the hype was so much that I thought it was actually just going to end up being a letdown, but it really wasn't. It really was an exciting thing to watch. I ended up taking Ohio State in the second half because I knew that they weren't going to let up and that they were going to find a way to actually really run through Oregon's defense. Cardell Jones and Ezekiel Elliott were just outstanding.
The best thing to come out of that national championship game was clearly the video of Ezekiel Elliott eating the confetti.
Yeah, so and then the confetti got wrapped all around the ESPN had one of those spider cams.
Yeah.
And there's actually footage that came up online of one of the technicians having to pull all of it off piece by piece. He looked thrilled to have that job right now. It was actually pretty good stuff if you look it up. I don't know if it was on Deadspin or what site it was, but it's pretty funny.
So, looking forward to this weekend. Like when your job is your thing is handicapping games, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So when you look at the NFC Championship game, Seattle and Green Bay, and they'd already met in Week 1 in Seattle, much to Seattle's delight, nonetheless. Does any of that go into when you're figuring out the line or who to recommend for this game?
A little bit. In this particular matchup, yes, because of how Green Bay has fared in Seattle their last two meetings. With that crowd is just absolutely insane. The 12th man deal they have at CenturyLink Field is incredible. So that's pretty much the only thing I take away from that. Other than that, I mean, the way teams play in Week 1 is nothing like the way teams play, when they're a win away from the Super Bowl. So you got to look at what's happened lately as opposed to previous matchups. But I think the only thing to take away from that is that the crowd is going to be just as electric, because that was Seattle's first home game with the raising of the banner and the championship rings and everything. So it's going to be that same kind of electric feel. That I'm sure they're going to try and break their whole they get that whole earthquake record thing that they have between them and Kansas City with the loudest crowd. So that's going to be, and then the rain factor. The weather is going to be, it's going to rain in both Seattle, Green Bay, and then at Foxborough for the New England game. Lots of rain expected. So we'll see how Aaron Rodgers performs with this leg injury in what could be some messy weather.
Alex, I am back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shit internet here in Omaha, but as far as this Green Bay versus Seattle matchup, you're talking about, with Seattle, the most important thing for them was obviously getting home field advantage in the playoffs, because I don't feel like they were a team, last year of destiny. It was just a matter of they got home field advantage and they had the best defense, and that's a good advantage to have when you got the best defense and the best home crowd in the NFL. As far as that goes this year, how much do you think that plays a factor into, a guy like Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs?
Well, like I said, I mean, the Seattle team's pretty much doing the exact same thing they were a year ago at this time. Like you said, they got the home field advantage, the crowd's behind them. Their defense is good now. They got guys, they're healthier now because they had a lot of injuries on defense, especially in that defensive line in the middle of the season. So all of that's a factor. Aaron Rodgers is he knows what he's going up against going into this building. Also, even though he's got his injury problems, he seemed to fare well last week, especially in that second half. I guess it's more of a mindset too when you're playing with an injury. He didn't look comfortable at any point during the game. The leg was bothering him. But you could tell mentally, he's like, you know what, this is not going to change. It's not going to get better in the next 30 minutes of the second half. Let me go out and play the best I can and push myself as much as I can, because if we lose, there's no next week. So I think that mentally clicked with him, and you could see that in a lot of the throws he's completing. Devontae Adams looked amazing last week. He's really made a name for himself in the last couple of games. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with this game. I like Seattle, but Green Bay they're going to play tough, at least in this first half of the game.
What did you think of ESPN allowing Skip Bayless to just go on any rant he wants, accuse the NFL of not wanting the Cowboys to, continue on, and he gets no punishment, but anybody who rips on Skip Bayless gets punished? How ridiculous is this? And
it's insane. It's insane. I mean, maybe he's got some compromising photos of some top people at ESPN, because I don't like to rip on a lot of analysts too much. But Skip Bayless, I really don't know why he still has the job on television. I know I don't personally listen to a lot of anything he says anymore. Most of the stuff I do end up hearing him say is because it gets, posted online or whatever. But I don't watch First Take. I think it's probably one of the worst shows on ESPN. And it's incredible some of the things that he says, and some of the stances he takes out.
Are you surprised that, everybody has this? It's like every single thing with him. When people go on TV with him, they're like, "Oh, this isn't an act. This is the real Skip Bayless." How much of a lie is that when people say, like, you wouldn't say that if you wouldn't have to say that if it wasn't an act. I mean,
right?
It's like they're validating crap is what they're doing.
Yeah, I've never met the guy, so I can't really go by what's real, what's not, and nor have I ever heard him, anything really off camera from him. So, it's just yeah, I guess you could take some of the stuff he says with a grain of salt because he's on a show where he's got to, they have this, point counterpoint set up, so he's got to kind of take the anti-popular stance at times. But, like I said, yeah, either he's selling it really hard and it's a big act, or he's just, like I said, maybe this is really, how his stance is on things. And, everybody's entitled to an opinion. So,
do you think there's any dumber people than the people that go to watch First Take live in person?
Pretty much. I don't understand any of those live shows per se. Like Sports Center was in Fort Worth all week, and they do a lot of things. When the NBA season started, they were hanging out in Cleveland or whatever. I don't quite get standing around when it's not like, I get they have the projector going and the screens in the back, but it's not really like, I don't know, it's just one of, it looks like I said, it's one of those desperation kind of like, oh, I'm gonna possibly be on TV kind of deals. So yeah, I never understood anybody going to a live taping of any kind of shows like that, with the exception being maybe College Game Day, because that looks like it's just a really good time, a big fun party atmosphere. But just to stand around and watch Sports Center outdoors, I love Sports Center, but I'm not gonna wait around to just try to get like a photo or an autograph or just say that was on Sports Center. So
it's like, yippee! I got an autograph of Jay Crawford. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah.
No. I have to change that. I have to change that. I wouldn't. If I could get maybe Jade McCarthy's phone number out of the deal, then that'd be worth standing outside in the cold for. Yeah, but other than that, nah.
If there was like some pictures exchanged from like maybe a couple of ESPN female anchors, I'd be like, okay, yeah. All right, yeah. I'll stand outside in the cold, not for an autograph of Jay Crawford. Not that I don't think Jay Crawford is okay at his job. I'm just saying.
Oh no, he's good. He's good, but he's not worth standing in the cold for. But no, there's a few ladies that work at ESPN that okay, that definitely constitute hanging out and yeah. So.
Well, okay. Before we get to the AFC Championship, what is your takeaway from Cardell Jones staying at Ohio State? Do you think that's a mistake? Do you think he should have gone pro? He got only three games that he's played in, and all three against pretty high caliber opponents. Do you just go pro at that point? What's your takeaway from that?
No, he definitely needed to stay in school. That it would have been. I think it would have been absurd for him to jump to the pros after getting, like, say, only three games. Yes, they were fantastic games. He played well, and he has all the tools to be an NFL quarterback, in my opinion. He's not like, a lot of these college quarterbacks where we speculate over, oh, is this talent going to translate from college to the pros? No, this guy's got the size, the skill. He's quick on his feet. The best play for me of that national title game, I heard a couple other people talking about this as well, was when he ran up for about 4 yards and he just went and trucked a lineman like this guy was a tackling dummy. Like he pushed this guy that was probably about